Welcome back, everybody. The FBI releasing a summary of its interview with Mrs. Clinton involving allegations that classified information was stored on her personal server, potentially putting national security at risk. You may recall the FBI did not recommend charges against the former Secretary of State. Those documents raised further questions about her repeated claims that she handed over everything that was work-related.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. So I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements. And I had not sent classified material nor received anything marked classified. I did not send classified material, and I did not receive any material that was marked or designated classified.
I believe and have said many times that I take classified material seriously, and there were no materials that were marked classified.
Now, earlier I spoke to the former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who says these documents raise further concerns.
She should have known better, and she should have known better from day one. And I think that there's a reason why we're continuing to find out more and more about this. And I also think that there's a reason why that we have 33,000 emails that were essentially bleach washed so nobody could get access to them. Why would you bleach wash yoga lessons?
And emails about wedding plans.
Or wedding plans.
Right.
I mean, you know, bleach washing, that's extensive. She has severely impacted the nation's security by the leak, or by the disclosure of this information that she has disclosed that we've already learned about from the FBI director. So I just think it's a shame that the people of this country are not being told the total truth.
She basically also answered questions regarding this information, saying that she left the handling of classified information to her subordinates, so that she put it on them.
Right. So, again, she wants to be commander-in-chief. You know, a commander is responsible for all the good and all the bad that happens in their organization. So is she going to now throw her subordinates underneath, you know, the rug? She's just going to, you know, I mean, how disloyal is that? How disloyal for somebody to say, well, you know, Uma, I'm blaming it on you. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that, you know, again, if she wants to be the commander-in-chief of this country, commanders take responsibility for all that is good in their unit and all that is bad in their unit. So if she's going to say, well, it's my subordinates' problem, they're the ones to blame, oh, my God. I mean, I cannot imagine anybody that has ever served in our military, ever. That means all these other people that are out there in our country somewhere that are going to go vote, ever, listening to this, what I'm saying, and going and voting for her. I hope that the American public do not become numb to this, because we are talking about electing a president of the United States and a commander-in-chief, sort of the two hats that a president wears, president and commander-in-chief, for some of the most sensitive things, and frankly, for our safety, for this country's safety, the safety of our citizens. And she can't take responsibility for her own actions. You know, again, I look at this whole situation and I say, you know, when is this going to end?
Well, on the issue of intel, recently you were with Mr. Trump when he received his first intel briefing. Right. You made some very interesting remarks at the time, saying that the information that was presented in that meeting did not match the policies that were coming out of the White House. Yeah. Can you expand on that? Yeah. So an intelligence professional, and those were all very professional people. And we had another briefing today, and Mr. Trump made it a point to let the group that briefed us today. So today there was a second briefing. Today was a second briefing. It was another sort of very enlightening, you know, in terms of what we learned. When an intelligence professional presents information, you know, then the policymaker, so the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary of State or the President, they have to make decisions based on what they're given. So my comment from the previous briefing that we received was that the intelligence that we had received is in stark contrast. It's 180 degrees out from what actions
political and policy actions that we're seeing being executed in the Middle East, let's say. So the intelligence was like stark. It was like, whoa. So you kind of go, what are we doing here?
Is there anything that really surprised you from some of the information that you were receiving today in this briefing?
One word, cyber. Cyber.
Okay.
So
so that threat is real.
Yeah. Cyber is a very real threat. I don't think that, I mean, if you had your credit card hacked or you had some money stolen out of your ATM, your bank or something like that, I mean, I don't think that people realize just how much our nation's critical infrastructure, so healthcare, telecommunications, transportation, defense, and government, and other aspects of our nation's critical infrastructure, our electrical grid is under attack. And so, one word, cyber, and I would say that we are as a nation, we are going to have to continue to pound away at this capability to build the capacity that we need. And frankly, we're going to have to do a lot more given the big state actors who are involved in this effort in a big way as well. And they continue to threaten us every day.
Can you give us a little bit more insight into how Mr. Trump is during these meetings? Very focused, asking a lot of questions.
Yeah,
give us
absolutely.
a sense of the candidate when this is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. Thanks for asking. The kind of dynamic interaction. And I think actually, as I look at the body language from these very professional intelligence analysts that are there, and really just kind of watching Donald Trump interacting with them, it's very collegial, it's very sort of cooperative, but it's very dynamic, and questions that I think are very surprising to them about the depth of knowledge in this case, from Mr. Trump, about the issues that they're talking about. People can't see that. The American public can't see that when you get into these types of briefings. But they're very sensitive briefings. It's very thorough information. It's good information, and then the real good give and take. And I actually enjoy it. I enjoy it because to me it's sort of my bread and butter. And as I watch Mr. Trump go through this, and it's reinforcing what he believes in terms of America's role in the world today, where we are, and then how we need to be acting.